Okay, so here's my We Buy Any Car experience. It's actually, I'll tell you a little bit about the process of going to the dealer, and yeah, a little bit about that as well. So, went to the dealer. We're going to buy a car. Want to trade in the old car, so they give us this amazingly low ball figure of $7,000 for a car that is less than 5 years old and has less than 24,000 miles on it. So here's the thing. I was fortunate enough to think ahead and talk to a coworker who had used We Buy Any Car, and I went on their website and I put in the VIN number of the vehicle that I wanted to trade in, and they gave me an estimate of over $10,000. It was 10,600, if I remember correctly, a little bit of change. So here's the deal, though. So basically, I told the dealer to go pound salt, and then I'd sell the car to We Buy Any Car. And the dealer said, "Okay, go get your money." So maybe they didn't want my car. That's fine. It wasn't the same brand, so I get that. Also, maybe they just I don't know. Maybe they're one of those dealers that has a lot of inventory right now. There's a lot of dealers that don't. But there's also other dealerships. You can pretty much sell your car to any dealership right now because most of them want inventory, even if it's not the same brand. So I did actually go to the Ford website, the dealer where I bought it, and they have a spot on their website that says, "We'll buy your car from you." And you put in the same thing as We Buy Any Car. You put in the VIN number, and they use Kelley Blue Book to come back with an offer. Now, their offer came in at about $300 less, and they called me actually almost immediately after I put the offer in. So be prepared for that. If you're going to do this through a dealership, they're going to call you almost right away. At least that was my experience. And they were like, "Hey, when do you want to bring the car in?" And I said, "Well, actually, We Buy Any Car had given me about $300 cheaper, or more offer more money. So I'm going to go with them. If that falls through, I'll call you." And then they did follow up, actually, the dealership, and followed up to see if We Buy Any Car was going to, that deal went through. So they must be desperate for inventory. Anyway, We Buy Any Car called me after I had put their thing on their website, and we made an appointment to have the car evaluated. So just bear in mind that the number that they give you on the website is the absolute most money that they will give you for the car. And it is dependent upon the car being ready to ship to the dealer, because that's apparently what We Buy Any Car does. At least that's what I was told by the person who worked there, is that they sell cars to dealerships. So it has to be pristine. It has to be detailed inside and out, washed, waxed, vacuumed, all that sort of stuff, which my car was not. But I was told that it didn't matter, that I didn't have to do that. So I didn't. And I went down, and they promptly told me that, that it was going to need, this, that, and the other. There was bird feces on the roof, and marks from leaves and stuff. And yes, we do park it under a tree. And they were going to have to wet sand that down in order to get that to look nice. Okay. The guy also went around the car and used this device that he said was measuring the paint to see if any body panels, been recently replaced or repainted. So there's that. So be aware that that's true. That's going to happen. Also, the guy test drove the car. So if you're bringing in a car that has default, or a fault, rather, I should say, they're going to probably find it if it's something that, like, if there's a knock or a ping. Like in our case, there's a blower motor that wasn't working, which is the reason why we wanted to get rid of this car. There were two actually that were out, and the Ford dealership we were dealing with, they were giving us a big runaround about how much it was going to cost to fix. And once they got in there, might have to replace the heater core and all this nonsense. We weren't going to deal with that. So we decided, to get rid of the car. So the We Buy Any Car knocked money off for that. mechanical repair, the estimate of that mechanical repair as well. So that makes sense. Oh, by the way, they at the beginning of the the process of us dropping off the car, the man said that it was going to take about an hour. Well, it took about 2 hours. So just be aware of that. Cell reception was terrible in his particular neck of the woods. I know, because I was sitting there trying to do work while I was waiting for him to evaluate the car, and his iPad wasn't working, and then he had to call his boss, and technical failures and this, that, and the other. So not the smoothest experience that I was expecting. So maybe if you're strapped for time, maybe you drop it off and then you let them evaluate and you come back once they come back with an offer. So finally, after him doing all this stuff, he comes back, plugs everything into his desktop computer, and comes back with an offer. And he offered me $8,500. So that is significantly less than the $10,600 that the website spat out. But it was significantly more than the $7,000 which the dealer was going to give me. Now, bear this in mind as well. Because if you turn in a car at a dealership, at least in the state of Pennsylvania, it counts as a credit off of the sale price of the car that you're buying. So say you're buying a $20,000 car and they offer you $7,000 as a trade-in, your actual sale price is now $13,000. Now, why is that significant? That's significant because you'll only be taxed on the sale price of the car. So you'll only be taxed on this $13,000 instead of the $20,000. Therefore, depending on what the sales tax is in your state, or if there is, maybe there isn't, the real value of the car that you would have to get from a private buyer, which We Buy Any Car would be, is more than the trade-in value. So in the case of my car, it's about $7,500 was like the real value, trade-in value, even though they were going to take $7,000 off of the sale price. You see what I'm saying? Because you would have to pay the extra in taxes. So in order for this deal to work out, I needed more than $7,500 from We Buy Any Car, which I got. So I got an extra $1,000 by taking the time, 2 hours out of my day, well, maybe more with the phone calls and stuff like that, to sell it to We Buy Any Car. So that's what happened in my case. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. If this was of any value to you, please smash a like. That helps me immensely. And subscribe if you want to hear more. And please put your experience in the comment section so that other people can benefit from your experience, which is why I'm making this video, so that other people can benefit from my experience. And it's just my experience. Everybody's probably experience is going to be different. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.